Juggernaut.
DC's turn to pick.
Razor.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. DC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Enigma.
Radiant team pick.
Mirana.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle. Thirty seconds to battle.
One escape and return.
The battle begins.
I'll take that as tribute.
The prize is mine.
So Bulba, Abed, just blocking over mid for this team, and we'll take a look at Saf is here with BTY, and Abed should have a pretty good time here over mid up against this Phoenix and the Mirana. I think Puck really dominates over the Mirana. Meanwhile, Dire's Courier gets taken out by Orange. So Orange coming around the back, gets himself a nice Courier kill, and right away, this lead just getting extended by Starboyz. Take a look over bottom, as it is Forev up against this Juggernaut, and Forev should do a pretty good job with this Enigma with the Eidolons to really be able to push. We'll have to see as we take a look over on Bulba and Op-Ed over mid. Maybe they set up for a kill on the Mirana, but they got the X. Orange, no Torrent, but not going to need it with the arrow following it up. So Bulba's going to have to use that Burrow Strike to try and get out. He makes his way all the way over bottom. And just escapes from the grasp of Starboyz, who are looking pretty good in the early game. Take a look over Mason, Dubu. Mason's going to have some free farm on this Razor as Dragonheart's backed up towards these creeps in this side jungle over here. And that's not really something you want to do, is leave a Razor really uncontested. You've got the Enigma over bottom contesting this Juggernaut, but Mason uncontested top could ultimately turn into a problem for Starboyz. Of course, he gave up that first death to Starboyz for first blood going the way of Saf, but you just got to make sure you stay alive and really work well to get that farm up there.
No gold for you.
So take a look over Mason. Dragonheart just showing himself. He is halfway through level 2. Gonna miss that stun badly. And still over mid is Saf and BTY. You've got Abed, who finally gets himself salved up. He'll be back to about full health. Now he's continuing to get himself boots and stick, but with no courier for, or just getting it back, and no courier upgrade for a while, he might just keep it in base. Don't want to risk getting that courier killed again, especially with your boots and your stick coming out. We'll take a look at what this courier's got. Nothing on it just yet. So again, you take a look over top. Mason just continuing to farm. Dragonheart trying to find some pressure on the side of DC, but not really going to find it there. Is the Frostbite, so he's immediately getting slowed down because he's in the middle of those neutral creeps. So he's got to be very careful. The continuous harass coming out from the Crystal Maiden onto this Nyx is going to push him away, and Mason going to continue to be able to free farm away. Orange getting chased by Bulba. Now there's X marks the spot. Has Burrow Strike to try and close the distance. Orange is going to get under that tier 1, so Bulba not going to be able to make it all the way over on to that Kunkka. And we take a look. They might even go after this Juggernaut. Got Bulba coming over. Has Burrow Strike. And already level 4, just about level 5, is Forev. So he's got the Malphus to really lock down this Juggernaut a little bit longer. And maybe he's going to be comfortable with. Sunray just out on Abed, not really doing anything. Just a bit of harass coming out from Saf. We'll take a look over at Dragonheart, just continuing to farm up in the side. Only level 3. So the offlane's going very well for DC. Forev just about level 5. You take a look at Bulba, he's almost level 3. The Crystal Maiden up top is 3. So has that nice aura, getting the mana back on DC. Got the Frostbite and the Soul of the Crystal Nova ready to go, and they might just make a move over mid. I actually might be looking for the Nyx. If you take a look, Dragonheart, he's full health, so I don't think they'll be able to get this kill. They throw that ward over mid, and the smoke's broken on Dubu, so they know that Dragonheart is there, but they still want to go over mid for a possible kill. They're pushing back Saf. Abed gonna avoid the tower shots and maybe look to continue in, but with no creeps, he's not able to really get away from that tower, chipping him away, and now they're going to continue to go up top, look for the Nyx. They've got the static link. Dragonheart, he's going to need a stun, and he knows that, but with the rest of the team coming in, he might have just committed knowing that he's going to be out. Bulba ends up missing that stun, so Dragonheart looking alright, but the Frostbite follows it up. A stun comes out on 2. Dragonheart, the inevitable will follow. Mason gets the kill, and everybody stays alive on the side of DC.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So 5.5 minutes in, we take a look at this CS, and it's looking good for Abed at 37 and 12. Not really having too much trouble dealing with this Mirana. And actually, down bottom, they get the kill on Fred. So X marks the spot, Torrent hits, they've got the Sunray. Juggernaut, not even level 6, but the Blade Fury is enough damage to take out this Enigma. Get themselves a kill over bottom. So the mobility of this Kunkka doing a pretty good job moving around, getting himself a couple of kills. You know, it'll slow down this Enigma, who Forever has been farming pretty well and just about level 6. So they stop the Black Hole from coming in and maybe stop a big team fight coming out from the side of DC. They get the X marks the spot, looking for the Torrent's going to hit, but meanwhile it gets the Burrow Strike coming out of Mirana. The Dream Coil is there, going to be broken. That's going to end up being a kill for Abed on BTY. And that is a nice core kill over mid, and especially going the way of this Puck. So Mason just looking for this tower up top, continuing to kill off these creeps, not really stymied at all from the side of Starboyz, and coming over is going to be Bulba and Dubu again. They've got Orange to show up, and there's the stun as well as the X marks the spot. They're going to line up the Torrent, but it's not really looking like it's going to be enough. They try to turn this around. Orange in a bit of trouble, and coming on over is going to be Saf with that Sunray. So they're continuing to chase on this DC side. They've got the Juggernaut ready to go. He's got himself Omni Slash ready to throw at Mason. But they haven't found it just yet, and getting all the way back is going to be this Razor. So still 2-2. They get kill over mid to even it up at 2 on the Mirana. They send 4 heroes over here top to get that kill on Mason, and they don't even get one. So now DC, they're looking pretty good, especially with Frev now with that Black Hole and continuing on forward towards level 7 and getting a tier 1.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower
Take a look, Bulba, he's here by himself. There's the Blade Fury. Bulba just going to be able to bounce back. No Omni Slash coming towards him. Everything okay. Take a look, Mason level 7. And his farm's been pretty nice as well. But top of the net worth right now, and this is Abed doing what he does best, playing a great mid. And as this Puck, he's already got himself 2 No Talismans, looking for the Veil. That's really where that damage output is going to be huge towards the side of Starboyz. Trying to come over with the Vendetta of Dragonheart. Let's see if they can get something. They look towards Forev. There's the Vendetta. Stun off the mark. And they do get a little bit of chunk damage out on this Forev Enigma, but they don't get the stun, so there won't be any follow-up. And with that, they'll just shrine up, heal up, and bring this Enigma back in a lane. And he's continuing on forward, now looking for a Midas. Has Arcane Boots already, and only 1,000 gold away from that Midas. So his farm is surely going to pick up once he gets it. He's had a little bit of difficulty in this bottom lane, but overall, not too bad. They still have this Black Hole to work with, but they're going to want to get a couple if they go in with it. And they still do have Dream Coil as well for Abed. He's level 8, has the Veil ready to go out on the Courier. So let's see what DC plan to do in the coming minutes of this game. So Juggernaut's farm is okay for Starboyz. Top of the net worth for his team. Not enough mana for an Omni Slash, though, and that looks to be as they're setting up over bottom. Meanwhile, the Kunkka's going to die. They've got the Vendetta hit, as well as the Blade Fury coming out on Forev. Maybe he sets up the Black Hole, tries to get it out, but there it is. That's going to be Blade Fury doing enough damage. Mason still linked up. 224 damage stolen away. Now, let's see, can they get one in return at least? They hit away, 2-shotting this Phoenix. And he's under tower, gets hit by the Torrent as well as the stun coming out from the Nyx. They've got themselves Dubu coming on over. Maybe going to get a kill on Orange. He's very low. But Mason, he can't really dive this tower and goes back into the arrow. He might be dead. And there it is with the leap forward. The Torrent hitting the kill for Orange. Mason drops, and it is very unfortunate with the rotation that came out from DC. They lose both the Enigma as well as the Razor. Bulba level 5, just about level 6. He's looking for that Blink Dagger, wants to be able to initiate well for his team, especially with Enigma slowing down to get that Midas. Then he'll probably work for possibly just straight BKB. So Mason, Bulba, Abed, Dubu pushing over mid. They're looking for a tier 1. And as a team, meanwhile, over bottom, Rev's going to drop again. Dragonheart and BTY combined for the kill.
Radiant's middle tower has
So, gonna very much need this Midas as his farm and his life has been taken away 3 times already. Not really looking good for Rev on this Enigma. We hear a Dream Coil come down on BTY. Gonna try and get out. The Illusory Orb is there as well as the Pearl Strike coming in from Bulba. Should be enough to clean him up. And they do take out BTY and get themselves yet another kill. So even at 5 in kills, but a 2,000 net worth for DC. And that's due to the hands of both Mason and Abed on the Razor and Puck, respectively.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So, let's see if they're able to do anything on Starboyz to kind of break down this net worth lead of DC. They need a couple of kills, maybe on Mason again, as well as really stopping this Puck, who's 2-0-1. But things not looking good over bottom as we take a look. Bulba in a bit of trouble. He's going to use that Sandstorm to get away. There's the Moonlight Shadow, getting them out of vision for now, and Bulba continuing to run. They get this X marks the spot. They should be able to get the kill on Bulba, but not close enough. Not going to be able to get it just yet. He throws the Torrent a little bit short, and they don't get anything out over bottom. Get out of dodge and that Spike Carapace as well as the stun. Sunray coming in on Abed, trying to run out, but an X marks the spot, comes through, going to be avoided with that phase shift. Abed looks to go in, maybe get a Dream Coil on a couple. Bulba's here to try and support him. He does have Epicenter and Burrow Strike, but they are not going to go all the way in. We take a look over bottom. Malphus is going to stun him up, as well as this Black Hole. Dubu, no ult, so I don't know if this is even going to be enough. He's got the Healing Ward. There's the Frostbite. Healing Ward taken out. Coming around the back is going to be both Bulba and Abed. They'll come through, get the Waning Rift and the kill, so they do end up taking out this Juggernaut, but it does take 4 heroes to do so. Take a look over top. Boat hits with the Torrent on Mason, and they'll clean up a core of their own. So, looking for a pause. Saf's going to get that pause out here. And we do see again, let's go around the horn, check out these items, see where they're at. Everybody in the net worth, we do see that Dubu's on the bottom. Mason, who's tied off 3 times now, is sitting 1,000 gold behind his own teammate of Abed, and only now 300 in front of the Juggernaut. We take a look. Enigma, Ferev having a very rough time, 4,700 net worth, keeping up with the Mirana, but 1 and 3, not looking too exceptional. He is going to end up going for that blink and then the BKB. As for Abed, doing really well, 2-0-2, looking for the Yules next, and then Bulba 1-0-1, looking for his blink to be able to initiate for this team. For the other side of Starboyz, they've just lost the Juggernaut, who's going for that Manta style, pretty standard. Kunkka going himself for an Aether Lens. He's already got those arcane boots. We'll see if he keeps those or dismantles them. And then for the Mirana, trying to get that Dragon Lance into a Maelstrom, then a BKB, and then Nyx Assassin here looking for a Midas. And finally, Saf, before we get right back into this game, is looking for a Veil. So they're going to try and push top, but meanwhile their bottom tier 2 is getting pushed away. Finally back up his Juggernaut. He'll clear up these Eidolons, and they'll finally despawn as well. And let's see if DC want to keep this pressure on. They've got themselves a slight lead, and they might want to continue to try and extend this. They don't have Black Hole for a long time. They finally have themselves Dubu's ult, so they could go in with the Dream Coil as well as that Freezing Field, but we'll have to see if Dubu and the likes of DC want to do that under that tier 2. might want to wait for that blink of Sand King. So, over bottom still is Dubu, just trying to continue to push this creep away, find a little bit of farm. He'll finally TP away, as coming over with the Vendetta was Dragonheart, but he was seen under that sentry and the ward of DC, so immediately TPing out is going to be Dubu. And really getting out of Dodge's way. So Starboyz, their here is 4 down bottom, really opening up the map for DC, and they don't really mind it. You take a look over at Bulba. He's got enough for that Blink Dagger now, continuing to farm up, as well as Puck trying to get towards that Yules. Now already has the Blink and the Veil, so very good farm from Abed, and we'll see how DC plan to use it and if they are going to wait for this Black Hole on Forev. Meanwhile, Razor Mason just trying to make up lost time after continuing to fall. He's got himself those drums and phase boots, but now sitting behind the Mirana, who now uses that Moonlight Shadow nearby this Tier 1 tower, so they might look to go in. They've got the Blink finally finished on Forev, but again, no Black Hole for 40 seconds. So with that Sunray, they kind of show themselves. Dubu getting very low. There's the Blade Fury, gets the kill. The Burrow Strike comes in with the Epicenter. Supernova is very good with the boat. Might line up for a huge one for Starboyz. They get themselves 3. They get a 4th in Mason. And it is a super combo for the side of Starboyz. Wow. The boat hits, the Supernova hits. They eat on that Epicenter, and it's perfectly fought. As well as a Tier 1 for Starboyz. So again, as some of these teams are already really eliminated from playoff contention, they're trying to play the role of spoiler. And Starboyz, it's looking pretty good for them. I want to play the role of spoiler on DC. Now only slight net worth lead for Starboyz for the first time in this game. DC, they kind of gotta regroup a little bit. Seem a bit flustered with how often Mason's been taken out at 2 and 4, and Forev, who is 1 and 3. You know, they were trying to fight that without the Black Hole, but everything worked out perfectly for the side of Starboyz in that fight. Lined everything up. Let's see, are they smoking here? They look to be smoking here. And Abed, Dubu, and Bulba are going to make their way across the mid lane as 5 of these heroes are up top for Starboyz. You got to think that they kind of know that they're nearby, or at least looking for a smoke play as they're off the map. They make their way over. Bulba has the Blink Dagger if he wants to close the gap on both Dragonheart and Saf. But they do split up quite a bit, and now they finally spot out Dragonheart with the ward. They're going to blink in Dream Coil. There is the Spike Carapace, but the Waning Rift comes out. The Spike Carapace not going to be enough. They get the kill. Burrow Strike comes through onto Orange on this Kunkka. Going to throw the boat, but it's just going to make DC back off. Not really going to find anything in terms of kill or team fight. Take a look up top. BTY just continuing to push. You've got Forev with the blink. Black Hole at the ready. But DC, nothing really to follow it up. So they're going to continue to push over mid. And actually might take out this Kunkka. Abed going in very deep. He's going to end up using that Illusory Orb to get up top. Towards this high ground torrent's going to miss. And Abed very much safe. So DC back with the lead after they get that kill on the Nyx. It's 1 and 2 for Dragonheart. 8 assists for him. He's going for the blink next, then the Ags. And his farm is decent. Not amazing, but decent. Juggernaut has Mantis Style and 500 gold. He's looking quite good, top of the net worth, overtaking this Puck. While Abed's still looking for the Yules. See if they really wait to take a huge team fight against Starboyz, waiting for that BKB that's not too close to being done, but not too far away, really, for Forev. Just about halfway to it, and or just over halfway to it. We'll have to see if DC really want to wait for that. Continuing to farm up is this Juggernaut, and at top of the net worth, especially with the Manta style coming out soon, he could definitely turn into a bit of a problem. So actually, BTY is here hitting away at Forev, getting very low. There's the Weep, stunned up on the Malefice. Continuing to be stunned up. That'll make some space for Forev, and coming over is going to be Abed. They've got the Moonlight Shadow, keeping him hidden for now. Let's see if they can get a dust or find anything. It looks as though BTY is going to be able to just avoid this entire team, but coming over again is going to be Bulba. Moonlight Shadow, it's going to wear out, and now he's going to have to leap to the high ground. Bulba doesn't even react to that.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Very interesting there, and they're going to lose their top tier 2 to this Juggernaut, who's now finished off the Manta style. So DC, they look to go in, the TP comes through from the Mirana. They almost take a tier 2 of their own and will. It gets denied out by BTY. So they get a tier 2, they deny a tier 2. And Mirana and this Juggernaut are looking to be a problem against DC. Let's see how DC can kind of handle this. They're only up 1,000 net worth, and they're not looking, again, really too comfortable against the lineup of Starboyz.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Been a very big ward war that Starboyz has been winning. A lot of money spent on those sentry wards, as well as the wards placed around the map for them in some pretty decent spots. And you know, they've been working with it well, getting these pickoffs, looking to get close on pickoffs, pushing them back, making sure the side of DC can't really farm. And that's really been holding them back. They've been able to make a lot of space for their Juggernaut, who's going for the Maelstrom next. So let's see if this Juggernaut's able to farm up this Maelstrom, get that pushing power up, and really work towards maybe dragging this lead back in Starboy's favor. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden still bottom of the net worth, half the net worth of this Kunkka. Kunkka's got that Aether Lens, does end up using the Arcane Boots for it, and he's going to be going for the Pipe next. Their item progression on both their sports is very good. Meanwhile, it's mainly on Bulba for the side of DC. He's got that Blink, has to find the right epicenter as well as the rest of the fight for them, and they do get themselves a Spike Carapace. Omni Slash comes out onto Abed, getting very low. He's going to try and get away. He's used that Phase Shift as well as the Supernova coming out. It's going to be a nice combination coming through for Starboyz once again, and they get themselves at least one in Mason, and they back off Abed, and they are looking very good in the team fight once again. They continue to go in with this. Nyx continue to lock in the Spike Carapace as well as the stun, and it is looking sort of bad for the side of DC. They get themselves a stun in Mirana. Mirana not dead just yet. The stun comes out from Nyx on 2. They'll take out another in Forev. Now they look towards Bulba. This should be a third. Dominating is BTY. So Starboyz, they are continuing to be a thorn in the side of DC. Take out this mid-tier 1. Only 1 or 2 outer towers are standing for the side of DC. The farm, very nice. Now top of the net worth is both the Mirana as well as the Juggernaut, who's 6 gold away from this Maelstrom. So the push will be there with both the Mirana and the Jug. Their team fight's been exceptional so far, and DC looking not great at this moment in time. So now DC, they're going to try a bit of a aggressive play based on the team fights that have been happening. They've smoked up. Was that under ward? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But now DC moving pretty deep. Play some nice deep wards out there. And let's see if they can find themselves a kill. Or if, again, Starboyz take a fight. They've set up over mid. Maybe waiting for someone to come out too far. And they're circling the wrong side of the map. On the side of Starboyz. Got themselves the Vendetta of Dragonheart. He's going to look out to the right. But he doesn't know that they're in the wrong spot. They've got the Blink available on Abed. Could go in with the Dream Coil. Maybe look for a fight. But they haven't found anything yet, and they are just going to move back and not look to be aggressive. So now the Moonlight Shadow is going to be used by the Mirana. Under the Sentry Ward is going to be BTY. Not spotted. Actually, might be spotted. No vision, and now they know that they're cleaning up these wards over by the steps. So the cover of Moonlight Shadow is gone. Still looking for a pick off his DC. They look towards BTY. They have their attention not focused enough, and he'll be able to continue to push and continue to farm. Now looking for a butterfly after finishing that BKB. So a little bit of trouble here for the side of DC. Down 3,000 net worth, and they're the ones being pressured by Starboyz pretty well. And they smoke. Not under ward vision, so they are okay to go. And they're going to try and make something happen. They're going to head into the jungle. They could find themselves a couple of kills and extend their lead even further, and maybe even go out for Roche after that. Got the scan on a couple of these heroes. Dragonheart's going to move forward. He spots out a few on DC, and now they look to go in. There's the boat thrown, but the X marks the spot is going to be avoided by the Phase Shift. They come in with the Epicenter. They're going to be out on 2, but the Supernova doing quite a bit of work. It's going to be hit away by DC. I don't think it's going to be able to get off. They finally take down the Phoenix. The Omni Slash comes through, or does not come through, from the Juggernaut. That is Mantis Style Illusions just pushing their way through DC, and meanwhile on the back end, Black Hole comes through onto this Mirana. They get themselves 2 kills. And DC defend pretty well in that fight. So with that, they cut the net worth lead to 1,000, take out the top Mirana, as well as the Phoenix, and DC will look to take out a tier 2 of their own. Not really too coordinated of a fight for really either team. Supernova a little bit too deep there. Now Juggernaut trying to go after that Scotty. So it's got the Maelstrom, has the Mantis Style as well as the Phase Boots. Scotty next, and it's about 3,500 gold away from it. Meanwhile, they try to go in for this Roche. Orange is here with BTY and the Juggernaut. Let's see if they make their way over on the side of DC. They don't have Epicenter. They don't have Black Hole. And Roche is just about dead. They've got the Moonlight Shadow. I don't think DC are going to be able to go in on this. There's the Aegis taken. Spike Carapace will stop up Bulba. There's the stun. The boat unnecessary. And that's another kill for Starboyz. So another good kill. Oh, man, a huge arrow comes out on this Crystal Maiden. Should be cleaned up. There's the Veil. Icarus dive, and another kill for Starboyz. Well-placed arrow from the Mirana.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
So 2,000 net worth lead, a tier 2 again going the way of Starboyz. One outer tower remains in the bottom lane. Not a huge lead for Starboyz, but they don't want to keep this pressure on. Knowing there's no Black Hole right now, it's only down for another 17 seconds. They're going to look towards this tier 3. And let's see, are they going to stay too long? They've got the Dream Coil coming out onto the Blade Fury. He's going to keep alive this Juggernaut for the time being. He's got himself not enough mana for that Omni Slash, so he might be in a little bit of trouble if Rev does in fact come in with this Black Hole. Starboyz with that. They baited out the Dream Coil. No back off. And even look for Moonlight Shadow to re-engage in 40 seconds. Or a smoke.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
So let's take a look over mid at DC as they're just sitting in their base right now, expecting Starboyz to kind of turn around. They don't see him just yet. They think they might be smoked. They have no ward vision on them, so it's hard to tell if they've backed up all the way or not. Got Ags coming out on to Abed, looking to get that Dream Coil to work despite the BKB on Mirana and possibly a little bit later on the Juggernaut.
Illusion.
DC, they need to find a good fight. They finally got the BKB out on Enigma, out on Forev, and he's got to find a good black hole to really fight Starboyz, who's been playing this pretty spread out and pretty well around the team fight of DC. Let's see, 4,000 net worth lead for Starboyz. Just continuing to farm away. They want to extend this net worth lead, get those next couple of items, especially on this Mirana, who's looking for the Hurricane Pike next. And I think actually getting a Mjolnir too. So just 700 gold till that comes out. Waning Rift, not really going to do anything, not deterring the Mirana. And we take a look at this Juggernaut. He's only about 1,000 gold away from getting himself this Scotty, and he looks pretty good with it. He looks pretty good with what he's got. And Juggernaut just going to get that much stronger with the Scotty. These items are going to be taken out at about the same time for both the Juggernaut and the Mirana. And that's a power spike going the way of Starboyz that I don't think DC are going to be ready for. They're going for the Ags on Abed. They're looking for an Octarine Core on Forev. But he hasn't really had the opportunity to go for a black hole anyway. Got Mason, who's got himself a Sange, finishing off that BKB, and has himself a Hood. But he's not sitting too high on the net worth behind both the Enigma and the Puck, and of course the two on Starboyz. So 200 gold away is Juggernaut from getting that Scotty. Gonna clean up this creep wave, probably have it at the end. There it is. And with that, a smoke's going to be picked up by Kunkka. They're going to look to pick up this Scotty. They've got themselves the Mjolnir on the Mirana, and then they're going to look to smoke and then force a fight with DC. They want to keep the aggression up and look to win this game, or maybe even high ground siege for the first time. While all this is happening, they've got the TP coming in and possibly a smoke coming out from DC.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Starboyz over bottom. Get out that last tier 2 tower. Don't go for anything just yet. They might look to smoke again and put the ultimate push on DC. So Abed close to that Ags. Far off of it. DC really trying to bide their time, down 5,000 net worth, and really only one ward here in the bottom lane. Don't really have a good enough vision or knowledge on where Starboyz are. So they got to be very careful going out past this river if they even make it that far. DC, being kind of corralled in here, it's not good for their net worth, not good for their team fight, and they might even get picked off if they go out a bit too far. So let's see. Saf gets the Rod of Atos. Gem picked up on Bova. Try to see out that Moonlight Shadow. And they're trying to get themselves a Daedalus on BTY. Meanwhile, Orange, is he transitioning into a core? No, he's just going to continue to play that support role on Kunkka. So DC setting up. They have a smoke on this Crystal Maiden. Down 7,000 net worth. It might be time for them to make a bit of a desperation play. You gotta go in. Can't continue to sit back while Starboyz extend their net worth lead. All they can really do at this point for DC is continue to push out these creep waves.
The prize is mine.
Silence.
Let's see how they continue to group up for DC up top. Continuing to farm away is going to be Starboyz. They have no problem with that. Getting those next items, using those Midases to really build up those next couple of items ready for the next fight up against DC. And Dubu is bottom. I think he's going to be spotted. Dragonheart coming over. TP is going to be started by Dubu. Can he get it off in time? The stun is going to be thrown by Dragonheart. They get themselves the hit. Dubu in a lot of trouble. The mana going to be drained. And then he's going to be dead. And this time it's going to be to the jug.
Tower is under attack.
So, again, they get picked off for DC. No longer with this Crystal Maiden. Starboyz continuing to push on forward. Looking for the Abyssal Blade now on Jug. He's got himself the Skadi, the Maelstrom, as well as that Manta style, leading the net worth. And DC got to be worried about how well this Jug's going to do in these team fights and how well the team fight of Starboyz is. Themselves a nice stun coming out from Nyx. Spike Carapace or two. All of a sudden, the Supernova starts to burn away at them with the boat coming in. And DC, like we've seen before, especially over bottom, they may not just be ready for it.
Allies disappear.
So they're going to be pushed back all the way to their base. Creep waves getting pushed in over bottom, mid, and now they're working on top with both Saf as well as Orange. They use the Moonlight Shadow, but they don't do anything too aggressive with it. So no Moonlight Shadow. Oh boy. BKB popped by this Mirana. So this might be time for DC to go in. I don't think they know that BKB's been popping. They get the Blink Burrow Strike coming out onto the Kunkka. They've got him silenced with the Waning Rift. Continue on forward. Get themselves an easy pickoff. That's what DC need to do. And with that, they might be able to work their way into Roche. It's not up to yet, and they'll have to wait about 10 seconds as it will respawn. Hopefully they see it if they walk out. If they want to get this Aegis and Cheese and continue to work their way back into this game, down 9,000 net worth. But while all that's happening and 5 are over towards the Roche pit, you've got Juggernaut with his illusions continuing to push over bottom. So 4-step forward from Bulba to spot that the Roche is up. And no Kunkka for about 12 seconds, but still, with everybody up on Starboyz and how well their team fight is, I don't think DC are willing to go and lock themselves up and funnel into that Roche pit. So look over, they're going to spot out Dragonheart. They get the Blink Burrow Strike coming out onto the Phoenix. He's going to be hit with that Waning Rift as well as the Dream Coil coming out on BTY. He's going to try and run away. Pops that BKB with the Ags out on Ophead. He's going to be stunned up anyway. He's got the stun coming in from Dragonheart, but continuing to be hit away by this Razor Mason. They've got the Onyx Slash flying through, going to kill off Bulba, but for right now, it's just a 1-for-1 trade. So ends up being a 1-for-1. Nothing too huge. Use just a couple of BKBs as well as the boat from Kunkka. Maybe knowing that boat's not up, and as well as not that Supernova, they could move into Roche. But they got to be very careful for Reb. He's got to be in a nice enough spot to really get off that black hole with the BKB, and the arrow flies in, and they are going to be spotted. So you take a look, actually, Mirana way too far forward, hit with the Waning Rift, and as well as the static link of Mason, stunned up again, and taken out. Mason gets that kill on the Mirana, and they're chunking away at this net worth deficit, and now they look towards Roche. So they go into this Roche pit. Orange just taking a look. He's going to be spotted by a bunch of wards. There comes the Torrent, so they know they're in Roche. It's getting taken in very quickly, so they might want to make their way over. They are going to TP in, but it's already seen by the side of DC. So They know they're on their way. They know they're coming. They don't have Moonlight Shadow or a Mirana for 37 seconds, so I don't really think they can take the fight in the Roche Pit. And despite how slow this Roche is going to be taken, DC should be good. Got the Jug coming in. They've got the Torrent not hitting as they've got this Roche pulled forward. The Barrel Strike's going to come out on the Juggernaut. They've got the Icarus Dive as well as the Supernova. See if they can make anything of it. BKB is going to be forced to be popped by Mason. They get the kill, but he's going to be stunned up. The Aegis is on the ground. Can he pick it up? Finally going to be picked up. There's a Black Hole coming out on 3. And now they start to line it up. Burrow Strike from Bulba. The Omni Slash will take out the first life of Mason, but they've lost 2. And I don't know if it's going to look much better for the side of Starboyz. DC continuing to go in. They've got Mason one more time, and now the arrow is going to actually whip and split the seams of the DC side. They get the stun coming in from Dragonheart, really trying to get a kill again on Mason. There's the Static Link, and BTY continuing to be stunned up. The Malefice comes out, and now the Hurricane Pike will push them 2 back. They've got the Moonlight Shadow for now. They lose Abed on the side, and they might even lose Dulu, so things starting to fall apart for DC. As the arrow comes in, but not going to connect. They've got the stun coming in from Dragonheart, as well as the Juggernaut hitting away at Mason. He's going to be taken out a second time. And DC, what looked so good as a team fight between these two teams for him, all of a sudden shatters, goes away. They had the Aegis, they got the Roche kill, but the fight went on a little bit too long. They couldn't get kills on both the Nyx as well as the Mirana. And now, Mason and Abed down for 30 and 50 seconds counter respectively. Both have buyback, and it's already going to be forced out. They go for this tier 3, going to get the Glyph. Abed comes in with the Waning Rift. Now Fist Thrown as well as the Dream Coil. Burrow Strike follows it up. They're just not getting the kill. They don't have themselves a Black Hole. He uses BKB, but Forev going to get chased away. BTY going to continue to come in. They've almost got that kill. The BKB is going to be popped on this. Mirana forces them out. They get the tier 3. And they get healed up by this Sunray. They're going to continue to look to take this set of racks. They finally force out the buyback from Mason, and I think with that, they'll take what they've gained and go after these shrines. So 14,000 net worth lead for the side of Starboyz. Really looking like it could be an upset over DC. Finally got Black Hole ready to go again. Octarine Core could be bought if he wants to buy out. Actually, just 200 gold away from having both Octarine Core and buyback, so probably going to wait on that. So both teams kind of sitting back, ready to farm up their next couple items is Jug and the Mirana. Mirana with that BKB, looking for an MKB next. Has that Hurricane Pike, which helped in that last fight over by the Roche Pit. You've got Jug, who's looking for that Abyssal Blade in full, and I think it's going to be coming his way. No, it's not. Not yet. Might look for these next items. They know they forced the buyback on both Mason and Abed. If they take a fight here and win, they could finish off DC. So the aggression, not yet from Starboyz. I don't want to wait to find their moment. Know that they'll be up against the Black Hole as well as the rest of what DC's going to be throwing at them. With possibly the Freezing Field and Abed doing work with that Dream Coil, but team fight of Starboyz just seems so much better, and Starboyz will take their time taking these shrines.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
So they are sticking around as 5. Shaman Axe picked up on Nyx. He's had that Axe for quite some time, and that's what kept him alive in that Roche Pit fight. Is Mirana going to continue to farm up this MKB? And we'll move over and take this other shrine, continuing to push back DC stuck in their base.
Catch us if you can.
You take a look at DC, they're not really farming too well. They're sitting back so much. Enigma Forev is top of the net worth, but he can't really use it to his advantage. He's got the Octarine Core, which is good with the Black Hole coming out more often, but it just doesn't seem like they've really been able to work a black hole into a team fight win. So despite him having top of the net worth, it really is just a bit of a ruse. Kind of stuck to their own jungle trying to farm what they can, and I think Starboyz know that, so they're going to continue to work, push these creep waves out, especially the Mirana. BTY pushes this creep wave out all the way over towards bottom. They're going to start to work away at these tier 3s, split push, and force a move that DC is not going to be comfortable with. Grouping up. Let's see, smoke is there for Kunkka. They might use that, on top of which they might use the Moonlight Shadow. They're all off the map. There it is. And here they are. They're going to continue to work their way mid, look for a fight to beat and upset DC. Head over towards bottom as they're trying to defend on the side of DC. Try to set up well. They've got the blink dagger out on the Juggernaut. He can blink in and go for the Omni Slash, but for right now, it looks as though he's just going to show over bottom. The rest of the team sitting by this shrine, except for Saf, who's pushing mid. And Starboyz just trying to push out these creep waves and then look for the team fight to end it. Got a 5-man smoke coming in from DC. They're looking to set up. They've got the Pearl Strike that's going to hit on the Mirana, as well as Prev coming in. They've got the Black Hole out on one, but he's going to use that BKB. He's also going to be stunned up by that Torrent. He doesn't get the BKB off in time. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Omni Slash bouncing around, as well as the Supernova. They've taken out Mason. He's going to be dead for 84 seconds without buyback. They continue on to Prev. He's going to be taken out. He's got himself buyback, but he's down for 81 seconds. They take a look over at Dubu. He's going to get low to this Sunray, burned out eventually by Saf, and they'll take out 3 in that fight. Meanwhile, Abed just running away mid and trying to just keep these creeps from pushing in on their base. They've got the buyback coming in from Farev, but without a black hole, he's pretty much worthless.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks.
So they get themselves the melee racks. They look towards the bottom tier 3 Starboyz. They could be doing it. 27,000 net worth lead. And they are going to continue to work towards this bottom racks. DC, they don't want to call GG, yet they don't want to admit defeat, as their base is just getting pushed in, and Juggernaut goes for their tier 4s. Abed, without Dream Coil, what can you really do? It's up in 5 seconds. They've got the Spike Carapace as well as the stun on Brev. He's going to be taken out again. He's down for 98 seconds, no buyback. It's all up to Bulba and Abed. What are they going to be able to do? Nothing is that answer, as GG is called. Starboyz, they play spoiler and defeat DC. So Starboyz with the huge upset on DC. They get every ability to deserve to throw out that little bit of BM in their own ally chat. A brutal savage wreck. They kill off DC. They beat the big bad 10k Abed. And look at that, 25-14. They had a huge lead, 6-1 for that Juggernaut, 10-4 for BTY. It looked promising in the beginning for DC, but a little bit too long was this game for them to really be handling the Juggernaut and the Mirana, as well as the Knicks, who made so many amazing plays. 2-2-20. Starboyz, they upset DC. And we move on to the next game of this NA region, where now DC, they're unsure of their fate. So we'll be back with the next game in just a moment. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. Hope you guys are enjoying what I'm doing for you. And here are a little bit of ads coming in before we get this next game underway.